this tutorial, we're covering the GMetrix PowerPoint multi-project number 3. Currently, we're in the first project, beekeeping. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and add the outline bee books to the end of the presentation. So you want to scroll all the way down to the 6th slide. We're going to go ahead and on the Home tab, select New Slide, Slides from Outline, and map it to your GMetrix folder. Select bee books. And then there you go. We'll go ahead and click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and go to Slide 2. And we're going to change this to a to content. So we're on the Home tab still, and the Slides group layout, and we want to content. Click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go ahead and add page numbering to all of the slides except for our title slide. So let's go ahead and go to the Insert tab, and it's in the text group. We just want to select slide number, and we'll select slide number here, and remember that step that said not on the title slide, so we'll check this box as well. We'll click Apply to All. Click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and create a custom layout, which means we need to go ahead and go to the Slide Master. So we're going to go ahead and click View, and then in the Master Views we're going to click Slide Master, and we're going to click Insert Layout, which gives us this blank layout here. And it tells us that on this layout, it wants us to have a picture placeholder between the title and footer. So in order to do that, we want to go ahead and in your master layout, insert placeholder and click picture. And we'll just drag a box between the two. We'll go ahead and click Mark Completed. Task 5 asks us to go ahead and remove the footer, date, and page number from the blank layout in the Slide Master. We're currently in the Slide Master, so we just need to find the blank layout. And so I believe it's this one. If you're not sure, you should hover, and it will tell you what it's called, which it is this one. And what we need to do is, see how my cursor changes? We want that cursor. We're going to go ahead and select it and just click Delete on our keyboard. And same here, and same here. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 6 asks us to go ahead and modify the left header of the handout master to read beekeeping. So we're right now just in the Slide Master, but we need to get to the Handout Master. So let's go ahead and close the Master View. We're going to go back to View, and Handout Master is right next to Slide Master. And up here in the left header, we're going to go ahead and type in beekeeping. And we'll click Mark Completed. And Task 7 asks us to go ahead and change the view of the presentation to Slide Sorter before we submit the project for scoring. So let's go ahead and close out of this, and then you can change the view from View, but this right here is the Slide Sorter. Click Mark Completed. We are working on GMetrix PowerPoint multi-project 3. We're currently on the second project called Smartphones. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and add a section between slides 1 and 2 and name it History. So we'll go ahead and click here. I normally right-click, but you could also do it from here. But we'll right-click, click Add Section, which gives us an untitled selection or section. And what we need to do is right-click again and click Rename. And from there we can type in History. Make sure you capitalize the H. Click Rename. Click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and configure this presentation so that when it prints with notes. So we'll go ahead and click File, Print, and over here we want to select that and click Notes Page. We'll click the back to get out of the backstage view. Click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go to Slide 4, and it says on the very last sentence, which contains smartphones are very, we want to apply to word art style. So let's go ahead and select that text. Now, you'll want to click Insert off the top and click Word Art, but that's not what they want you to do. They want you to be in the drawing tools, and with that selected, select the Word Art styles from here. And it's the Fill Black Text 1. If you're not sure, make sure you hover. Click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to stay on this slide, and what we're going to do is select this list, and we want to make it a bulleted list, and the specific bullets are the hollow. So we're on the Home tab, we're in the Paragraph group, and we have bullets here, and it's these bullets right here. We'll click Mark Completed. And task 5 asks us to go ahead and start the slideshow before submitting this project. So different ways you can do that. I normally just click this button right here, and it will start the slideshow. Now yours might look a little bit different. I have dual screen, so it gives me a different view. But once you're done, we'll go ahead and hit Great Project. We are on GMetrix PowerPoint Multi-Project 3. Currently working on the third project, which is called Custom Construction. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and go to slide 2 and select the text Custom Construction. And what we're going to do is make a hyperlink out of this. Now you could go to the Insert tab and click Hyperlink in the Links group, but I'm just going to right click here. And then from here, what we need to do is type in the customconstruction.gmetrix.com. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll click OK. And it changes that over to a hyperlink for us. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to stay on this slide, and we're going to go ahead and draw a down ribbon. So we're on the Insert tab here, Shapes, and we have the Stars and Banners group, and this is your down ribbon. If you're not sure, make sure you hover. It'll tell you what it's called. So we went ahead and we drew that, and what we want is 1 inch high by 2.5 inches wide. Oh wow, I did good on the height, but let's go ahead and change this to 2.5. We'll click Enter. And it asks us to go ahead and center this on the slide before we move on. So with that object selected, we're on the Drawing Tools format and Align Center. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go ahead and apply an effect to the Smart Art on slide 4. So let's go ahead and go to slide 4, and we'll select our Smart Art. And from here, we want to go to the Smart Art Tools Design. And then we're in the Smart Art Styles. Click the drop down, and what they want us to select is the moderate effect, and it is this one. Again, if you're not sure, make sure you hover and select that. Click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and go to slide 3, and what we're going to do is put a picture in this empty text holder. So let's go ahead and, I said text holder, placeholder, but so what we want is this right here, Pictures, and we'll go to our GMetrix folder, select Barn, and what it wants us to do is to resize the image to 3 inches high by 6 inches wide. So we'll type 3 here, select Enter, and it resized the width for us already. We'll click Mark Completed, and Task 5 asks us to go ahead and apply on slide 5. Slide 5, the center shadow rectangle style. So we'll go ahead and select our image here, which brings us up the Picture Tools format. We'll click this drop down box, and this can always be cumbersome trying to find the specific style. But again, make sure you hover so you know that you're selecting the exact style that it wants. We'll click Mark Completed. We're working on GMetrix PowerPoint Multi-Project 3. We're currently working on Project 4, which is called Candy. The first task asks us to go ahead and go to slide 2, and what it wants us to do is to group the image and the Armado text box. So we'll go ahead and select the first image, and then what you want to do is hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and select the second image, or the second box, which is the text box. With both of those selected, there's a few ways you can do this. I'm just going to right click and click Group. And now that's one thing. We'll click Mark Completed. Slide 3 asks us to go ahead and we're going to insert a table in the left placeholder, and the number of columns is 1 and the rows is 10. So we'll go ahead and key that. Puts the table in for us, and what we want to do is change the style to a light style 3 accent 3. So I believe it's this one. If you're not sure, you want to make sure you hover so that you select the correct style. Click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to stay on this third slide, and what we're going to do is import a file, Flavors, Excel sheet, into the right placeholder box. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting my cursor in that box. Then I'm going to go to the Insert tab here at the top, and in the text group we want to select Object. And we don't want to create a new file. What we want to do is create from file. So with that, we'll go ahead and click Browse. We'll find our GMetrix folder, and we want to find the flavors file. We'll double click or click OK. We'll click OK here, and it went ahead, it will populate that for us. We'll click Mark Completed. We're going to go ahead and go to slide 4, and what we're doing here is inserting a pie chart. So this is your insert chart. If you click that, we'll click pie, and we can select that. I usually double click, or you can click OK. Now notice this right here pops up. For this question, it tells us to just go ahead and use the default, so we can just close out of it, and the chart's there, so we can click Mark Completed. And on slide 6, it asks us to go ahead and change this list right here to Smart Art. So you're going to go ahead and select the bullets. We're going to go ahead and right click here and click Convert to Smart Art. And then what we want to do is look for the basic timeline. It's this one. So we'll click that, and we'll click Mark Completed. We are working on GMetrix PowerPoint Multi-Project 3. We're on Project 5 called Rodeo. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and go to the last slide, and what we're going to do is insert a chart that's already been created into this placeholder box. So we're going to click in here, we're going to click Insert. In the text group, we're going to click Object. We're going to want to select Create from File. We're going to click Browse, find our GMetrix folder, and then we have to find the NFRT ticket prices. And then we'll click OK, and it'll go ahead and populate that information into that placeholder for us. We can click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go to the sixth slide, and what we want to do is just add another point to this. So we'll put our cursor here at the end, and we're going to click Enter to create a brand new bullet point. Notice it went ahead and added that to the Smart Art for us. And what we want to do is type in win $1,000 to receive a permanent PRCA card. It's a lot to type. Make sure you capitalize and punctuate and do all that, or it will mark it wrong. Click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go ahead, and with this selected, we're going to change the colors. So we're going to click the design up here, and if you don't see this, you want to make sure you select this, and this tab will pop up. And under Smart Art Styles, we want to do colors, and under the colorful group, we'll select accent colors. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and go to slide 4, and what we're going to do is add a video. So we can click this icon, which is Insert Video, which brings this up. And what we're going to want to do is click Browse, and go to your GMetrix Templates folder and find the Bronc Ride. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 5 asks us to go ahead and change the media size to 4 inches high on slide 5. It's kind of tricky because you're on slide 4, you just inserted the video. So make sure you go to slide 5, select the video, change this to 4 inches high, click Mark Completed. We are in GMetrix PowerPoint Multi-Project 3, and we're in Project 6 called Mobile Apps. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and add the white transition between slides 1 and 2. So we'll go ahead and select slide 2. We'll go to the Transitions tab, and we're going to select white. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and go to slide 3, and what we want to do is apply the Appear animation to this list, and it wants those to appear individually when clicked. So what we want to do is I'm just going to click the outside box here, so it's a solid line, and then from there we'll go to the Animations tab, and then we're going to click Appear. And notice it says 1, 2, 3, 4. If they all said 1, do it again. But if you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, then you went ahead and applied that individually. And it's set to on click. So we'll click Mark Completed. We want to go to slide 2, and we're going to change the transition timing duration to 1 second. So we'll click Transitions, and mine's already set for that. If yours says something different, just make sure you go up or down on that until you get 1. We'll click Mark Completed. And then on slide 4, it says that we need to configure the transition between the two. to 5 seconds if the mouse isn't clicked. So right now you don't have anything here. What we want to do is select, click the up arrow here until it says 5, and notice that that checked. Once you're done with that, you can click Mark Completed. We are on GMetrix PowerPoint Multi-Project 3. We're currently on the project number 7 called Certification Program. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and put a slide from the certifications PowerPoint called Certifications Can Launch Your Career, and we're going to place that between slides 1 and 2, and we're going to keep the source formatting. So we have slide 1 selected, which is what we want. We want to go to New Slides, Slides from Outline. Reuse Slides. We want to go ahead and from here click Browse File. You want to map this folder to your GMetrix folder, and then we want certifications, not certification program, but certifications here. And we'll click the Keep Source Formatting, and we'll select that second slide, and we can close out of this. We can click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go to slide 5, and we're going to select this graphic here. And what it wants us to do is to add a comment. So we're going to go ahead and click Review, New Comment, and what it's asked us to do is just type Update this screenshot. Notice that Update is capitalized. We can hit Enter. We can close out of this. We can click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go ahead and mark this presentation as final. So what we want to do is click File, and under the Protect Presentation, we're going to click Mark as Final. We'll come up with that. We'll click OK, and we'll go ahead and click OK again. We'll click Mark Completed. And Task 4 asks us to go ahead and export this file to our GMetrix. So we'll click File, and it says Save, but we're going to click Export. And you could do this through the Save As portion, but from here, this is selected. We want to create PDF XPS document, and by default it probably went to PDF. You want to change this over to XPF, and what we want to do is click Certify, and you want to uncheck this box here, that way it doesn't reopen the file, and we'll click Publish. For this I've already done it, so we'll click Yes, and we'll click Mark Completed.